Hey, all you crypto boomers. It is another week with Bud and George and Paul. And just as always, crypto has not disappointed this week. It has been another crazy week. Before we get into some different topics that we think you're going to really enjoy, why don't you click the subscribe button and the bell so that you can get some notifications whenever we drop some videos. We dropped some extra videos this week, some different interviews with some of the originals with uh, the Bitcoin Academy and Crypto J, and just kind of their experiences over the past few years with him. If you missed that, I would go back and listen to them. There's some really good content there. I think their stories will resonate with you. They're just nothing planned. It was off the cuff. Bud came up with the idea on Sunday morning, and we made it happen. And I appreciate Bud for doing that. And I appreciate everybody that got to come in. And then there's going to be those that didn't know about it, that wanted to get in. I know we wanted to get George involved, but he was busy, and I had to go. So we just made it happen and cut it into a couple different segments. But if you haven't watched those, go back and check them out. I think you'll really enjoy the stories that some of the originals to the Bitcoin Academy can share, because they went through the difficult times. Now we're in the good times. Now we're in the bull market, but they went through the bear market, and how we got through the bear market with the support and tutelage of Crypto J, not only made it through the bear market, but positioned ourselves just incredibly well to take advantage of this this bull market that we're in now. So as we get started, I'm going to throw it over to Bud. He's got a really good topic. We've asked around and asked for what you would like to hear about, and I'm going to give you our email address for your questions for topics. It is btcboomer@yahoo.com. That is just one email address just for what topics you'd like to hear about. We've already heard from some of you, and Bud's going to address one of those first off here. But if you can keep that BTC Boomer, no S on the end, btcboomer@yahoo.com. Send us some ideas for content, and we will we'll look those over, and maybe we can get some interviews and some content and going. Now Crypto J is having a challenge with his voice. He's put out so many videos over the past couple of weeks, and he's trying to rest his voice. But here before too long, we're going to have a live stream on YouTube and or on this channel that we will let you ask questions, and hopefully we can get those answered live. It's an exciting time to be in this space, guys, and I always look forward to our time where the three of us can get together and have a chat for 30 minutes to an hour before we do this video. But Bud, you talked about just some of the things that have come up with some of the people that you've talked to, and you've got a topic that I hadn't even thought about, to be honest with you, and I'm excited to hear your take on this. So I'm going to throw it over to you, and you can just start us off. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's great. Hey guys, hey Paul, hey George, how you guys doing?
Howdy,
Hey,
howdy.
bud. Doing great. I wish I could have been there on Sunday, but it was all good.
Yeah, you're actually having some free time to yourself, and which is great. But what happened is on Sunday, as Paul was saying, I woke up and I had this real urge to have a good conversation with many of the people that we've shared a wonderful journey with. I mean, the reason we all three of us know each other is through our coach and our mentor, Jay, and we've all been with him since he started this since day zero. And so there's probably a few hundred of us that are the same like-minded team. We call ourselves the binge team, which stands for big income, no job. And so I wanted to reach out to some of these people. I've known them, I've talked to them, and some of them are boomers that are a good age, wise, and then some are a little bit younger. And it was just wonderful to have a chance to connect with them and figure out their journeys. And one of the overwhelming pieces of feedback that I received is the importance of being part of a team. being part of a team is something we probably overlook because we are blessed to be part of this group. But I wanted to throw this as a topic for discussion today, in that how important is it to have like-minded people around us that believe in the cause and the mission of crypto, and to bounce ideas off and to talk to when things are going crazy or when things are going down? How important is being part of a team?
Yeah, well, I'll put my 2 cents in
Yeah.
on how important that is because, you know, I've been in the space for quite a while, and I really did not find anybody that I could relate to that would have the same understanding of crypto and at that point Bitcoin. And when I would talk to my friends, they would look at me and be like, "What are you talking about, number one? And you're crazy because you can't hold it. You can't do anything with it. What are you thinking? Why don't you just sell it and get out of it?" And I really knew that it was a longer term hold for me because it was the future. And coming into this space and having people like you, Paul, and you, Bud, and literally we talk what, half an hour before the show because we want to catch up with each other, and we're all really excited, especially in this bull market. And I find it incredibly important to have people around you that will support you. And the people that support me in this space, I don't sit down and have coffee. I don't invite to my backyard. They are all virtual, and I do everything via some type of communication tool. So it's an interesting way to relate to people.
Yeah, and mine is similar. I got in the space in 2017. Actually brought the idea of getting Bitcoin back in 2013. I don't remember what the price was, but it was down there, guys. And I brought that prospect to business partners and just thought, we've got a little money. We could invest it in this. It's speculative. I'm not even sure how to get it, but I'll figure it out. And after discussing it and talking to them, we just felt like maybe we should put it in a little safer space, and did so. And I haven't let them forget about it since, to be honest with you. But you nobody has a crystal ball and nobody can see the future. But in 2017, it became apparent to me that this is a space I want to be in. And me and by then my business partner, we had bought out another business partner, so it was just the two of us. Dustin, who was also a member of the Bitcoin Academy, we decided to get in this space in 2017, but it was a lonely space. You could listen to some, I'll say, influencers. And when I say influencers, that doesn't mean influencers for good, to be honest with you. But you could listen to them on YouTube and get their take. And I've shared that story before, where they're telling you 500,000, $1 million in Bitcoin, and you're just waiting for it to get there. But the psychology of losing 75% of the value of your portfolio makes it even lonelier and more difficult. And luckily by then we had Jay, who helped us get through it, and we had this group. And then, in the last year and a half, George has jumped in, and you've been with us. You've been part of this from the beginning too, George. It's just that you've kind of become front and center with your expertise, and you're a very giving individual, and like to share your knowledge and stuff. And Bud, for me, being able to chat with these two guys every week and a few others, and also my business partner in it, it makes all the difference in the world to get you through the challenges. We're going to talk about one of those challenges during my segment in this, because I want you guys to understand something that can reach out and grab you in a bad way if you're not careful. So anyway, I love the topic, Bud, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah, can I pick up on two of the things that were said there? One is lonely. You mentioned lonely a few times, Paul, and I'm actually thinking of a boomer. It's very important to me, a very good team member. It's my mom, okay, or how you guys say, mom. And she's 73. She's 73 years old, so she's in the probably the older category of boomers. And she actually finds it very lonely to be involved in crypto because she got involved in 2017. She spends most of her time talking to me about it, but she doesn't feel comfortable talking to others about it. Her friends have just started asking her about crypto, and she feels a little bit nervous because I've said, be careful, don't tell too many people because the risk that because you own your own hardware wallet and you got to protect yourself because you're going to become quite a rich crypto holder, mum. So be careful. So she basically is feeling a little bit lonely. But going on, George, you said about online friends, and that's what I'd encourage the crypto boomers of this channel is to reach out and to build an online network of like-minded people, whether it's the Bitcoin Academy or patreon.com CryptoJ. The online relationships can be really deep, and yet you never meet these people, and that's in a way a protection, but also that kind of team that you get. What do you think?
I would agree, because I mean there are so many times that I wish that I could meet some of you, and some of you I probably will at some point in time in my life, but that I'm very particular who I bring into my life now and who I share things with because I know that there are some crazy people out there. I've experienced that in my life already, and so that's made me very cautious. And learning the Jay's experiences has also deepened my thought process of being careful who you share certain things with. I will tell people I consult on crypto side of things, but it's not necessarily that I'm going to tell them, what I just did a trade in on Theta and how well I did. That'll come later when I have, trust in someone, and building that trust is really important to me.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I do not encourage anyone to go out there and, lay out what they're doing, as far as how much money they've made and all of that. I mean, there's certain things where you got to be smart, especially in this day and age and, all the hacking and all that kind of stuff. So I totally agree with you, George. But the online community also gives us the ability to share with people that we otherwise would not be able to share with. And honestly, at the same time, we can tune out those that we don't want to listen to as well. So I think the online community is a big deal. And I think what has been created through the Bitcoin Academy, the Patreon, and now Crypto Boomers is, the whole goal of helping each other is what it's all about.
Yeah, and Paul, one of the other things that came up with my chats with the boomers and the bingers was the importance of being grateful, having gratitude. And one of the things I realized is as we look at the Theta price, and I know you want to talk about this, Paul, but how important is it to be grateful that we bought that at under 10 cents? We held it to $7.50, whatever it was, and then yeah, the importance of gratitude and as it pertains to Theta.
Yeah, and you bring up gratitude, and that's a great reminder, Bud. And the other thing that really strikes me when you say gratitude is the how the group at the Bitcoin Academy has helped other people. There's been times when other people have run into situations where they needed help financially, and the Bitcoin Academy group, the binge team, has stepped up and helped them. And one of our favorite charities, the Salud Honduras charity, just received a very large donation that was put together by Bitcoin Academy members and then matched by, and I know George would not want me to say it, but I'm going to say it because George and Jay and I believe Jay's wife matched it and gave it to this charity, and it was just a remarkable um, exercise in gratitude. We are grateful for what we've been given, and we help others with it. So, if it's all about just making money and hoarding it, in my opinion, you do that, you're going to end up a very lonely, unhappy person. But if you can use what you make for good, a portion of it for good, use use a lot of it for fun, but use a portion of it for good, and just share the gratitude with others who are less fortunate, I think is a major deal. Let me just ask you this, George, because I know we don't need to get off, into specifics, but how did that make you feel when you got the ability to share in such a way, and to be a part of giving it to them, because you were there? I mean, you were listening to them, you were seeing their reaction. How'd that make you feel?
Oh, it made me feel incredibly good and grateful. And the amazing part of, I think when there have been a couple words that that have been used in this, like when you hoard things, you're not allowing the flow, and that's what life is about. It's about flow, it's about cycles. And that when you're hoarding, you're just keeping everything to yourself. You're not allowing things to go, to be given and to be received. And for the longest time, I was really good at giving. I could give, give, give. Receiving was really hard for me. And when my mom passed, that's when it gave me the opportunity, that I made a promise to myself that when someone offered me something, I had to receive it if it was healthy for me,
Yes.
because it was so difficult for me to accept things. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, it feels so good to give, but it also feels good to receive, because to give and receive, you give the other person on the other end the ability to give to you and feel all that good that
Mm,
I feel when I give to people. And so it's on both sides. It's not just about giving, and it's not just about receiving. It's about that flow between the two. And if to answer your question, it felt really good. I had a smile on my face the entire interview,
I
um,
bet.
uh, with them. So yeah.
I bet. And it's interesting that you talk about receiving and learning to receive, because that's something that I've taught my kids. I've taught my son-in-laws, and it doesn't come naturally for a lot of people. You either for whatever reason, sometimes people don't feel worthy to receive. But let me just tell you, the mindset that you need to have is you put in the work and you receive the blessing. And when I mean, how bad would it be if you brought me a gift? You thought about something that you thought I'd really like, and you brought it to me, and I said, "Oh, I can't take that." That's a slap in the face. That's don't do that to
Yeah.
somebody. If they put the effort in and they want to give you something, and like George said, as long as it's good for you, okay? If they want to give you something, then you receive it with open arms, recognizing that you do deserve it. And then if you want to take a portion of it and give to someone else, that's on you. But receiving it is just as important. And I'm really glad you brought that up, George, because that's a mindset thing that we've got to wrap our minds around. So, do you
Yeah.
have anything to add to that, Bud?
Yeah, I remember receiving a didgeridoo last year, and I received it with a blessing. And the person giving it to me, was blessed, and that they enjoyed it. That person is no longer here.
Mm,
Mm.
Now, um, I thought more about that person giving me the gift than the actual gift itself. The gift didn't mean anything to me, but it
mm.
was the act of receiving. So that's the thought that you triggered there.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. All right, so here's something I want to share with everybody. I've been kidding. Everybody knows that we had targets in the $7 to $10 range, the $10 over performance range in Theta. That was our targets. That was the plan that we had to sell, wait for a pullback, and get back in. Theta is a phenomenal project. We will get back into this project, but I've had more people. They know that 75% went off was pivoted into something else around $7, and then the other 25% was pivoted out at 10. Just in case of the overperformance, which, as you can see by the chart, it did overperform and continues to. But I've had more people say, "Are you sorry that you got out of Theta? I bet you're upset. I bet you're mad. I bet," just all these different emotions. Let me just explain something real quick to you guys, okay? First of all, we've talked about this. You probably get sick and tired of hearing it, but it's all about psychology. It's all about planning your trade and trading your plan. Here's what happens, okay? We get into it, and I think Bud or George mentioned it. We get into it over here it was in the 10-cent range, okay? I think Jay was in the 7-cent range. Let's just say 10 cents. Make it easy on you, all right? You put $2,000 in, you get 20,000 Theta, okay? This is back. Look at the date, okay? You could have got into Theta back in this time frame less than a year ago. You could have put $2,000, got 20,000 Theta, and if you'd have sold it at $7, you do the math, okay? So that's over $100,000 in less than a year on $2,000 at risk. All right, so let's just let that resonate in your head, because I know some of you are saying, yeah, but you'd have double that now because look at the price, it went to $15. Okay, yeah, that's right, but you're trading based on what you see now, okay? Our plan was, and we had targets, like I said, of this range, $8 to $10, $7 to $10. So they said, are you mad? No, I'm not mad. I pivoted this into something that hasn't even started moving yet. And I pivoted this into something that hasn't even started moving yet. So let me tell you what happens if you trade with emotion because you're angry and you're scared and you're fearing that you're going to miss out on $1 million trade. So right here, you get out, you planned your trade, you traded your plan, you get out, you pivot, and you don't have Theta anymore. And it comes down and you think, I'm a freaking genius, okay? Jay's right on the money. Look at this. You know, I got out at 7 and it came down to, $6, whatever. You think you're just killing it. And then it comes up and you're thinking, oh boy, it's going to retest that level. Somebody else that didn't get out is going to get a chance to get out because I've been talking to some people and they weren't able to get out. And boy, look at this. And so then they sell. And now you two are talking. And then all of a sudden it jumps up to $9. Okay, well, we knew that. There was potential for overperformance up to $10. So we're thinking, okay, we got overperformance, no problem. It's going to go to 10 and then it's going to pull back. Okay. So in your mind, you're going, man, I kind of wish I would have held it till 10, but hey, I planned my trade, traded my plan. Then it jumps through 10. Okay. And now we're at 12 and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to the next target. I can't miss out on this. I got to get back in. I'm hearing this from people, okay? So you jump back in. You take your $7 Theta trade, and let's say you had 1,000 of them. Now you had 700 of them because you got to get back in. So you get back in, and you're thinking, there we go. Okay, 700 or $10. $13 Theta, look at this, it's going up, I'm a genius, it's going to go to 27. Now, first of all, you got back in because of FOMO. You didn't get back in because of plan. You didn't plan this trade. You got back in because of emotion. So now, okay, it went up to $15. Did you sell it? No, you think it's going to 27 now. So if you didn't sell it, you didn't make the money. So we've got the potential now. Look at the RSI. Look at this chart. Okay. It could go to 27. It could go to 30. It could go to 50. I don't know. All right. But you jumped all your money back in. And now we get, what is it called? An A, a B, and a C. Okay. This happens. And all of a sudden you're holding that Theta that you paid $13 for, and it drops down to here, and you don't have any money to put back in and get double and triple your Theta. You see how this works, folks? You don't know, just like I don't know. But if this wasn't your plan, if you're just wanting to be a hodler, then hodl. Just hodl and move on. But if your plan was to get out at 7 and pivot into something else and then get back into theta when it comes back down, maybe it goes up to 27 and it comes back down to 10, whatever. You've pivoted into something else and you've made multiples more than theta doubling from here or tripling from here. Theta triples from here, but FLM goes up 20 times from here. So get it out of your head. Quit looking at the chart. Quit freaking out because you didn't stay in theta and you didn't get that last little bit, and you're upset because your buddy did. Because let me tell you something, FOMO, if you don't hear anything else I've said about this chart, let me just tell you this, FOMO will wreck you. And that's all I'm going to say on it. So you guys got any thoughts?
It depends. Depends, Paul. I would say FOMO is a good thing when the prices are low, because I can remember FOMOing in to many things. I remember FOMOing into. You mentioned FLM. I remember FOMOing into that when it was below 20 cents. So can I just mention there, Paul? I mean, I've actually watched theta go, and I've been out for a while. I remember making a decision, and this is why, our coach has taught us to make our own decisions as well, and not just blindly follow, the consensus. And I decided, because I didn't have any theta fuel, to switch from theta to theta fuel and pivot. And it was when theta was maybe $3-4, but that worked out really well. So I've missed, the theta run, but boy, I've got the theta fuel run, and that's been phenomenal. Absolutely blitzing up. So
with that, Bud, let me ask you this. So let's say at $4 you got out of theta and you pivoted to T fuel. How much was T fuel when you pivoted at $4 theta?
Oh, it was about 3 or 4 cents. It was way down.
And it's 50 cents now. Let's just use round figures. 50 cents. So you're 15 times your money as opposed to 3.
Yes. Yeah, roughly.
See how that works? I mean, it's incredible. So the ones that little segment was for the ones that were freaking out because they got out of theta at a target that they had planned to get out, and now they're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on all this money. Plan your trade your plan. And you're right, FOMO is good when you're on the right end of the chart. But if you're on the wrong end of the chart, it's not good.
But Paul, I would argue as well that we've got to show, I guess, a bit of compassion, because we probably don't appreciate how much training we've had to change our psychology.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that chart. I have zero FOMO, and I can't believe that, but zero FOMO.
100%. I agree with you. And that is where, I mean, listen, I've been there, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I need to give this caveat. If you're FOMOing and you think I've been there. We've all three been there. But it is through the training from Trader Jay at the Bitcoin Academy that we can sit here and go, okay, I'm confident in what I pivoted into that hasn't started moving yet, and I'm not worried about it. So you're right. I just wanted to make the point, because I've had so many people reach out to me that this is why you need training. this is why you need to get your trading psychology down. This is why you need the training that Trader Jay offers at the Bitcoin Academy, because without it is a mind game.
And Paul, do you mind if I add just one more thing? And
Absolutely.
it comes from the feedback that I had, again, with all these different chats I've had with all the wonderful people over there at the Bitcoin Academy. And one of them is that it is actually a lot of fun. We are having fun, and emotional fun. And one of the reasons is because we've been taught to swing trade, not day trade. So can you imagine being a day trader now, and the emotions you've got going through that chart there, and you're getting in and out probably every hour or two. So again, it's another thing we've taught, which is to have fun, because we're swing trading and we can just enjoy our lives and take opportunities when we like, and relax and
That's
be
so
cool
true.
and
Real
calm.
quick for somebody, just in a 1 minute answer, Bud, what's the difference between swing trading and day trading? Because a lot of people don't understand the difference, and I think that would be a good thing.
Well, I think the difference is quite clear on your chart. Swing trading is you look at that green box on the left-hand side, you buy there, and you look at the green box on the right-hand side, you sell there. And you basically are taking the meat out of the middle from the trade through the cycle. So you know that's a few years of holding, but look at the reward at the end of the day. Day trading is that box on the left-hand side. You are basically trading every single day, in and out, in, out, in, out.
Yeah, from here. And with that, Jay talks about it a lot, and I did do my year and a half in day trading Forex, and it's brutal. I mean, it is brutal. It's a your eyes are on the chart for hours and hours and hours, and you're trading the news, and you're so at least with this and the way Jay teaches, we get to enjoy our life even during the bull and bear markets where we are, approaching targets and things like that. So yeah, that's very good, very good. Okay, George, you have
I
um,
have the screen.
you have the screen, and I see your screen now. So everybody sees the screen now. So George, you got something that you want to share. I had somebody ask me what the differences are in wallets and exchanges and things like that, and there is no one better than George to explain that. So he is going to take the ball and run with it.
Well, thank you for that, Paul. Yeah, it does get a little bit confusing when you're just getting into the market. And so what I want to show you is that there are different options that you can use. There are the old ways of doing things like the private key having access, the key store, which you would import these files, and the mnemonic phrase. These are all what you might have used back in 2017 and before in 2018 maybe, where they were the standard, but you no longer use them. And what you really want to do is have a hardware wallet. This is Zillet.io, and this is where you can access your ZIL. And what I really highly recommend to people is to have a hardware wallet. Ledger seems to be the best hardware wallet because it's used in more places on more wallets than a Trezor. But a Trezor will also do the job, and some people prefer the Trezor. It's a personal choice. But these are all the private key, the key store, and the mnemonic phrase are all ways that you can access a wallet, but they're not that secure. A private key you have to copy and paste in. A key store file, you have to import a file. And the mnemonic phrase, you have to have a set of 12 to 24 words that you need to enter into a web page. Well, that's really insecure because if you have a compromised computer or just a number of things, you can lose your wallet using one of these three methods. The Ledger wallet is a piece of hardware that you connect and you enter a PIN on the hardware wallet itself, and everything is controlled on the little piece of hardware that you physically hold in your hand. And so it's very secure. If you want to send something out, you have to say yes. You have to click yes on a screen, and you have to go through a process, and it says, this is what you're going to send to this address, and this is how much you're going to send, and this is the fees. And so it's not convenient, but it's really very secure. Private key, key store, and mnemonic phrase, they're not secure, but they may be convenient because it's a copy and paste and it's do it once. So that is the storage of your private keys on the different blockchains, on the different coins. So definitely recommend getting a hardware wallet. Right now, Ledger is 2 weeks behind on a Nano X. I'm not trying to sell that, but I'm just saying if you're going to do something, keep it as secure as possible. So then we move into things like uh, an exchange, where an exchange, you keep your coins. It may be Binance, it could be Gemini, it could be Coinbase, where you're keeping your coins there and um, you're trusting that that exchange will be there in the future, and most likely it will. There are some that have disappeared. Mt. Gox is the first one that I joined Mt. Gox, and that's where I got my first Bitcoin from, and that's the first exchange that I lost some Bitcoin from. So I was an early adopter on how to lose coins at an exchange. So that's instilled on me that I do not want to keep my coins on an exchange. It's very convenient to keep them on an exchange, and you may keep them on an exchange for a period of time, but there are also some other security measures that you need to have in place on those exchanges to allow yourself to feel like your account is not going to be hacked into. Having a 2FA as a software app on your phone, or a hardware key like a YubiKey that will protect you from someone gaining access to your account at Gemini, at Binance, at Coinbase. So there are lots of security measures that you need to put in place to keep your coins safe. And until you hold your coins, you really don't own them, and you are trusting the exchanges. And there are places like Caleb and Brown where you don't have those pieces in place because you have a broker and you can communicate directly with them. And so it's not a login that someone can hack into. It's that communication, the boutique broker that you're dealing with. So those are, at the top level, really the difference between a wallet that you might store your private keys on your local machine or through a web browser, your exchange where you're relying on a company to hold your coins, and those are the two that we've gone through right now.
That's awesome. That's a great explanation of that. And then as far as Caleb and Brown, and they are someone that I think all of us use, but they're an outstanding broker, and they did give me a link to post, and we do have the link to Caleb and Brown that'll be at the bottom of this video. So if you guys are interested in having a broker that will help you through the process of trading and pivoting and all that stuff, they're very, very easy to deal with, and they are very professional. So just click that link at the bottom if you want to check that out. All right, guys. Well, I think we've covered a varying range of topics here.
Hey, Paul, can I ask you about that link?
Yes.
I guess it's preferential to click that link because then they get some kind of benefit, do they?
Well,
To
be honest with you, I don't know of any benefit other than it gets them through the system probably a little bit quicker. They're backlogged, as you can imagine, with this bull market. So many people trying to get, just like Coinbase or anywhere else, trying to get their accounts set up. So when you do that and go through the process, just tell them you're part of Crypto Boomers and the Bitcoin Academy group, and hopefully they'll be able to push it through. But they do get a ton of applications there. So
yeah, maybe we could help the Crypto Boomers. They could email. They could email. That email that you put up at the start of the show.
yes.
Because we've known these guys. We know the head guy. We've known him for 3 years. I'm on talking terms. Talk to him very regularly, and so we can maybe help the Boomers.
That's a great point, and I'm glad you mentioned that email again. It's it's btcboomer at yahoo.com. btcboomer at yahoo.com, and it's just an open email for anyone to send us a message, to send us questions, what kind of content you'd like. And if you do have a question about, or if you do click the link for Caleb and Brown and you're having difficulty or you've been waiting, do send us an email and we'll do what we can on our end to see if we can expedite it for you.
Yep.
That's great, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. So we've got some other videos that'll be coming out. I know Bud has put together some good content as well, and we're just waiting for the right time to release that. And send us some emails and let us know what you want us to talk about, and we'd love to hop on and even just do a 10-minute section or segment about different things. We've been in this space so long that we've forgotten what a lot of the early on questions were. And for those of you that have just gotten into the space over the past few months, I think you have a different perspective that maybe we can help you with. So, and different questions that maybe we can help you with. So anyway, guys, you got anything to add to wrap it up? How about you,
Yeah,
Bud?
I'd love to wrap it. I'd love to wrap it up with this. For the crypto boomers, we know how hard this stuff is, and I just want to confirm that, my mom has never managed a bank account even. My dad did all that. So she has now crypto cards, she's trading, she's moving coins around. She can do it. She's 73. Anyone can do this. So just put the work in and it'll be fine.
Agreed. My dad is 80, going to be 82 this summer, and he is in the space now as well. So, and my sister's in the space, and if she can do it, anybody can. I just said that because I wanted to, she'll listen to this, and I just want to get that little dig in. We go back and forth all the time. Love you, sis.
Yeah, and I know you said that I should have the last word. I know you said it was the last word, Paul, but let me just say one more thing, which is I think one of the things the crypto boomers have to remember, that this is so much fun. My mom has never experienced wealth generation like this. She looks at it every day. It brings her joy. She just can't help but open up the Blockfolio and have a look at the portfolio, and because of course that generation has never seen wealth created so fast, so quickly, and get the gains. So just to kind of say, it is a lot of fun, as we've suggested.
Absolutely
Yep.
a lot of fun.
Yep. No one's seen a new asset class like this, I think, in their life. At least I haven't. So it is great fun.
No, we were talking about earlier, and I'll finish with this one. If you, we're in this space to create wealth, generational wealth, and it can happen. We were talking about a group member that put $60,000 into T-Fuel, pivoted part of their portfolio out in February, $60,000, and it is over $500,000 today just on that one coin. So you've got to believe, and you've got to know that can happen for you. You've got to just plan your trade and trade your plan. And with that, guys, we're going to finish it up and tell everybody it's not about just investing. It's about creating wealth. Have a great one, guys.